And we're live. We're live. Can you believe it? We get to do this every weekend. And I'm not talking about this where I'm unprepared and yap in front of a microphone with some graphics to the side. Uh-oh, there they are. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every Sunday. We get to watch football every day. And the day before Sunday, there's college football on all day. It's the best. We get to do this every weekend. So I'm unprepared. We're just going to jump right into the deep end. Atlanta is favored by 1.5 points up against the Green Bay Packers. And I'm not going to go in depth on each of these games, but this is one that I'm very excited for because this is a big test for Jordan Love. You got Christian Watson and Aaron Jones both not expected to play while David Bakhtiari is questionable right now. It's a big test because their big play ability that really led them to a massive win versus the Bears is hindered greatly. So this is massive for Jordan Love. Can him and Romeo Doubs continue that connection that they had against a team in Atlanta that's got some killers on defense and they can control time of possession with their elite rushing game. And just Desmond Ridder just needs to be a game manager QB. Jordan Love's going to need to be something bigger than that. If the Packers are going to win this game, their defense has got to step up and set the offense up for great situations because the big playability's not there with Jones and Watson both not expected to play. Give me Falcons -1.5 as I think they control time of possession pretty easily and their defense can force some turnovers. But the Packers game plan, we need to set the offense up because their defense has got some killers as well. Moving on to the Bills versus the Raiders. Bills favored by 8 points. I think that line moved down to 7.5 on some. I made these yesterday, so it's not perfect, but we're doing it. Bills coming off of the Monday night loss. Raiders coming off of a 17-16 win versus Denver. The books are not concerned about Buffalo. I'm definitely not concerned about Buffalo. There is a game plan to beat Josh Allen, and that's to force him to get uncomfortable and pray when he's uncomfortable and does those bullshit-ass throws that work sometimes. Pray that those don't work because he's Josh Allen. They're going to work. He's phenomenal. Pray they don't work. That's what worked out for the New York Jets. It didn't work for him. 4 freaking turnovers. The Raiders need that. Because guess what? If they don't get that, they're in a shootout against the Buffalo Bills. That's not going to work. Bills -8, dude. Give me that. Bengals favored by 3 against the Ravens. Both of these offenses kind of looking for their first splash. Obviously Cincinnati. Burrow threw for 82 yards off 14 for 31. What are we talking about? What are we doing? But the Ravens are also kind of looking for their first splash. They won by 16-17 versus the Texans last week. That's a splash. That is a splash. But their offense didn't really have that showing. Zay Flowers was phenomenal. Zay Flowers was great. But 3-point dog? 3-point dog. I understand Mark Andrews, as of this very moment, is still questionable. I'd expect him to play. But I'm not a team doctor. So Cincinnati favored by 3 is too much. I think it's 3.5 now. That's too much, especially for an AFC North matchup. And especially with the spreads, I think Cincinnati's going to win this game. I'm gonna just lay that out. But with the spreads, it's kind of like a game of chance, especially from a viewer's perspective. It's a game of chance, and I think that's too much. Give me Ravens +3. But, man, the offenses are looking for their big splashes. I'm excited. I'm excited to see if the defenses really step up and contain Lamar Jackson or contain Jamar Chase while Marlon Humphrey's out. I'm excited to watch this one because I think that's the game that's on in my area for CBS. So that's pretty hype. A game I got nothing on is Detroit getting 4.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, what are we doing? 1 first down in the second half of their last week's 30-13 loss versus the Rams. 1. They had, I know I wrote it down. It's 16 plays in 4 drives. I wrote it down. Yeah, Seattle's offense had 4 drives in the second half of their week 1 loss. They had 13 plays in those 4 drives. That's pathetic. They need to bounce back bad. And guess what? They're playing a defense that's got some killers on it. They're playing a defense with killers. They need to contain Hutch. They're playing a defense with killers that's going to blitz the living hell out of you. Seattle's got to air this ball out, and they got to air it out early because that's what happened last year. This game was high scoring last year. And you got Detroit coming off of that mini bye week because they played last Thursday night. I'm not going against them. Detroit minus 4.5. Duh. Moving forward. I like how the little sidebar, I control like the movements of it using the right arrow key. It's slightly moving to the right. This way. It's slightly moving. You can see a little gap. It's kind of funny. I don't know how to fix that. Excuse me. Moving forward, Chargers favored by 2.5 against the Titans. Chargers have had a bad rush defense for like 7 years. Not actually 7 years, but for a while, for a few years, they've had a terrible rush defense. You know who feasts versus terrible rush defenses? King Henry. 2,000 rushing yards. The king. He's going to pop off. Derrick Henry's going to have a game. Problem is, Ryan Tannehill had a rough outing. I don't remember the stats. Few turnovers, rough outing. That's not good. They're not going to compete in a shootout with the Chargers because the Chargers, it's kind of crazy. I was thinking about this morning. They lost that crazy game versus Miami last week, of course. No one talks about the Chargers side of it. And, like, rightfully so. I mean, Tua had 450 yards. Mike McDaniel's a genius. Tyreek Hill's awesome. I get it. The Chargers played phenomenal. The Chargers offense played phenomenal. And no one really talks about it because it's just like, yeah, that's Justin Herbert. Yeah, duh. If that continues, Ryan Tannehill also needs to play phenomenal because I love Derrick Henry. I love rushing offenses. Of course, I love the Falcons because of that. Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, yeah. Tannehill really needs to step up because I love rushing offenses, but they're not competing in a shootout with Justin Herbert in that passing game. Austin Eckler, I actually do not know his injury status. No one's watching, so I'm going to take a gander. I'm going to take a live gander because this video is going to get like 2 views. Who cares? The Los Angeles Chargers. I forgot to check this before. He's out. He is out. Okay. Well, Joshua Kelly was already getting most of the red zone touches. So the big play ability is definitely hindered, but Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, they're all there. They're all there. As long as Justin Herbert's there, I'm feasting 2.5. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a big day, but it's up to Ryan Tannehill to keep up with Justin Herbert. That shit's not happening. Moving to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Chicago Bears. Wow, the Bears fucking sucked last week. And Tampa Bay forced turnovers and got a win. And Baker Mayfield was talking shit. I forgot what he said. He said hit the weight room or something like that. I love it. I love Baker. Baker's the man. I'm rooting for him so much. He's not very good. I'm rooting for him so much. He always does this, like, really early. He always pops off. And then he just, pew. And I don't know if this is the game that happens, but there's definitely a blueprint if you're Tampa Bay. Because the Bears do not have a good roster. They do not have a good roster. Do not let Justin Fields beat you with his legs and limit DJ Moore's big play ability. As long as you can do that and force a few turnovers, because Tampa Bay has the defense to do that, I think they'll be just fine. Problem is, whoa, that's not. What the hell? What are we doing, dude? Why did it just switch colors? What are we doing? All right. Yeah, Tampa Bay, though. Can they do that? Can they limit Justin Fields' big play ability? No. Rushing ability and DJ Moore's big play ability? I don't know why the light did that. I don't think so, dude. Justin Fields' bounce back game. Give me that. Chiefs' bounce back game. Give me that. Psych. I actually do want to talk about this one. Chiefs, I do have them -3, though. Oh, fuck. Yeah. It's falling apart. Chiefs, -3. I think 3.5 now against the Jaguars divisional round rematch. I love the Jags this year. I love Trevor Morris. I love Calvin Ridley. I love them all. But the Chiefs have Chris Jones and Travis Kelce back. They have them back. That was the big issue versus Detroit on the Thursday night game was the passing offense did not work. Now he has the safety blanket, and they've had a long week to figure it out. They had that little mini bye week. They've been off for a week and a half, basically. I don't see Jacksonville winning. I think they can cover, but if I had to put money on it, if like that was the whole thing, like you had to put money on each of these games, give me Chiefs, dude. Moving forward, Houston versus Indianapolis. I wrote down notes for this one because this one's very fun to me. This is a fun game for me. So, this is a game because both of these teams are bad where it will not have a big effect on the overall season. And I do want to look at CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson's injury report because I know they're both questionable. But Anthony Richardson's going to play, duh, and CJ Stroud's definitely going to play, duh. Yeah, so actually Stroud is still questionable, but just assuming they both play. This game is about who can force the most turnovers and who can get the most pressure on the young QB. In my opinion, if I was forced to gamble on this, take the under. Whatever it is, take it. Because Houston last week versus Lamar Jackson had 4 sacks and forced two turnovers. While Indianapolis against Trevor Lawrence, another very established quarterback, I guess not very for Trevor, but you get what I'm saying, had 4 sacks and forced 3 turnovers. I think the D-lines are here. I think the D-lines are ready for the young QBs. So let's switch to the offensive side. Which team can produce more explosive plays? That is Indianapolis. That is Anthony Richardson. That is Michael Pittman. They can produce more explosive plays. But who can control a drive better? Give me Houston. So, it kind of comes down to it. Which team, I forgot what I was saying. Which is more likely? The explosive plays or the controlling of a drive? Dude, give me the explosive plays. Anthony Richardson's playing. TJ Stroud, I assume, is playing, but he is still questionable right now. Moving forward. I think we're at the 4 o'clock slate now. Yes, we are. 49ers, favored by 7 against the Rams. I love this Rams team. I love them. Dogging Seattle the way they did with such a young roster, with such young weapons. And I was going to do like the fantasy football player to watch. I didn't do it this week because the picks are all super obvious. Like for this game, it was going to be Puka Nacua. Duh. Like, I'm not presenting anything new to the table, so why would I talk about it? That's kind of my opinion on that. Maybe in a few weeks I'll bring that back. But yeah, I love this Rams team. Young across the board. And they dominated second half. Matthew Stafford, okay, I guess not young across the entire board. Matthew Stafford, still a dude. Connecting with his young weapons. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But they're running into a buzzsaw, dude. 49ers dominated Pittsburgh. They have the best roster in football. I don't expect that to change whatsoever. I love this Rams team. I hope it's competitive because I want to watch it. But what are we talking about? Moving forward. Giants versus Cardinals. I'm not talking about this. Giants got dicked on 40-0. Cardinals stink. No disrespect to Josh Dobbs, Tennessee legend, but Florida won last night. Sorry about it. No disrespect to Jalen Hyatt, but Florida won. Sorry about it. Moving forward. I need a sip. Yeah, the stream sucks right now. I can't wait till like we get more data on these teams and learn more about these teams so these can actually be like these games can be talked about with like purpose. Instead, it's just the first few weeks I'm just yapping. I am underprepared and I'm just rambling. But yeah. Jets. 8.5-point dogs versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys dogged them, of course. I just said that with the Giants. Dogged them. 40-0. Sunday Night Football. 40-0. Now, the Jets have a blueprint to winning football games, and we saw that on Monday night against the Buffalo Bills. We saw it. Force turnovers, dominate the rushing game, and pray to God your special teams is better than their special teams. All 3 worked versus the Bills. Will that work against the Cowboys? First one, turnovers, something like that. I said something like that. I'm off like no sleep. Something like that. Dak throws a lot of picks. We all know that. Can they force the picks? We'll see. Control the rushing game. They got Dalvin. They got Breece. But on the other side, Dallas is Dallas. Dallas contains Saquon so well. I think Breece and Dalvin do decent, but if this game is in Zach Wilson's hands, which I think eventually it will be, it's over. The special teams at that point, sorry. I think this game eventually goes in Zach Wilson's hands because all you need to do versus the Jets is limit turnovers and score 20. Dallas, we'll see about the first one. They could definitely score 20. Dallas, I was just saying it with the 49ers, best roster in football, Dallas is up there. I mean, they've been up there for years now. Dallas is definitely up there, though. Moving forward. But, okay, I actually do want to go back to that. Tony Pollard. I love Tony Pollard. In a fantasy, obviously with a football sense, he's Tony Pollard. But in a fantasy sense, man got 8 red zone touches last week. I'm excited to see if that trend continues because I don't have him, but I'm going to get him. Moving forward. Denver favored by 3.5 versus Washington. Who cares, dude? This game's going to be 13-10. It just depends on who scores the 13. If I was forced to bet on it, which I'm not. But, dude. Oh, yeah. I think this game's going to be too close to call. I forgot what I was talking about with this game. I forgot what I kind of underprepared for. Yeah. It's gonna be so close. We saw it last weekend. Denver lost by 1, and Washington won by 4. It's gonna be so close. It's such a defensive battle with quarterbacks. How, we don't really know. I'm rooting for Russ, but they only scored 16 points last week. We'll see if that trend continues or they get explosive. We'll see. I don't think this is the team they get explosive against, and vice versa. I don't think this is the team that Sam Howell figures it out against. This game is about who controls time of possession. Phew. It's just going to be too close. 3.5 is too big. Wow, we made it to Sunday night. I sped through this stream. You want to know why? Because I don't have any talking points. I'm just yapping. Phew. I should have made this graphic. No one's watching. I can just talk to myself right now. I should have made this graphic the whole side. That would have been kind of cool. Instead of just that tiny top left box. Miami, Sunday night. Off of that explosive win. 450 yards. Tyreek over 200. 2 touchdowns. That last touchdown was right over the defender's shoulder. It was right here. Phew. Right there. It was right there. And just boom. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It's exactly what you wanted. I don't think you get that versus Bill Belichick. I was pumping up the Patriots last week when they were playing Philly. They were getting dogged on at first. Then they figured it out. Do you want to know why? Because it's a Bill Belichick defense full of killers. They're hunters, dude. It's a Bill Belichick defense against a Mike McDaniel offense. I love this game. I love what this game's talking about. I'm so happy they put this game on prime time. Actually, I'm kind of not. I'm going to have to go to bed because I got work. But I can get no sleep. I'll be fine. The analysis, there is none, dude. It's a Bill Belichick defense. I love a Mike McDaniel offense, and I'm so excited to see how this game is. But Mac Jones just has to be a game manager. He doesn't have to make big plays. This game cannot turn into a track race. Mac Jones is not the big play man. Kendrick Bourne's not the big play man. Juju's not the big play man. Miami's got big play men. Tyreek, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, Tua. They got the big play guys. I think New England pretty much buries that. I'm not concerned about it. Dude, if they can control time of possession and limit big plays, Tua is susceptible to those big turnover games too. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying he's susceptible to it. Let's go Detroit. Hey, I don't know. There's a viewer. Shout out you, dude. That's sick. But yeah, dude. Go work. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. We're trying out here, brother. We're trying. Young man, thank you. We're trying out here. But, yeah. I lost my train of thought. Mac Jones just needs to control the rock, and I believe in a Bill Belichick defense more than I believe in a Mike McDaniel's offense. I love Mike McDaniel, though. If the Dolphins win by 20, I'm not upset. But, damn it, give me a Bill Belichick defense. That's all I got today. Usually I'm going to do these at 11, but I kind of just wanted to do it, so I did it. And it's not good right now. Thank you for the good work, but this isn't good right now. We're out here trying, though. Because there's nothing to go off of right now. It's just kind of hypotheticals, which I guess that's all it is every week. Excuse me. But you can have more evidence behind the hypotheticals. This early, it doesn't mean nothing. Hi, Marshall. But,